How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the few trades that I took on MNQ and MES. Had a couple trades this morning. Super small loss on NQ, followed by a small scalp on MQ that brought me to positive. So my first trade of the day was a small loss. Second trade of the day was about twice what that initial loss was. So sitting pretty well. And then in the evening, I came back during the FOMC interest rate Jerome Powell speech, kind of last 2 hours of the day. Took some uncharacteristic trades or just trades I really shouldn't have been in the first place, and ended up giving all that profit back and having a loss on the day. So no huge losses, no holding super long or not obeying stops. It was more so just numerous losing trades in the evening when we had higher volatility that took me out today. So we'll take a look here at QQQ or NQ, essentially QQQ. Just look at where we're at. So this morning we opened up well below yesterday's low of day. Yesterday's low of day is up. Oh, did I miss that? I didn't even adjust it. But we opened up below yesterday's low of day in a bit of a downtrend from yesterday. But in the pre-market, we had this bounce, and then we were kind of moving sideways. We started to trend downwards. I drew this channel that we were trending downwards within on NQ. I honestly cannot remember the very first trade that I took on NQ. It was a small move. I believe I must have been playing something in this channel. It was small. I got stopped out for, it was a 5 point, so I was down like $10 or so, $8 to $10, I believe. I can't remember where it was. So that's sign number one. I took too many trades today, as I don't even remember the trades that I took. That was my issue today. I took too many trades. I took a small trade in here. It kind of got chopped around and got stopped out for a small loss. It was a very tight stop, but nonetheless, it didn't work out. So I was happy to be stopped out with a small loss and move on. My second trade of the day, however, I do remember very well. So we're in this downtrend on the on the higher time frame, as well as this lower time frame, very clear. We got a break to the upside and then started holding. So what changed, right? We were in a pattern of making lower lows and lower highs, right? Lower lows, lower highs, and we continue to do that until this pattern breaks. And where it breaks is right in here. Because we have this low, and this is a swing high, we break above that swing high. So now we have a new higher low. This is higher than here, higher low, higher high, so higher swing high. So we've broken that downtrend. When we came back down to retest this area of consolidation that we had in here, as well as it was a level that we had bounced off of previously in the morning here and in here, a couple times in here, I suppose. But I entered a call, a long position on NQ, a single contract, right around 64, 65, somewhere in here. A little bit premature, I could have set my entry like somewhere right in here. Obviously, hindsight 2020, this would have been a perfect entry. I think maybe waiting for this candle to close before entering would have been a safe bet to get a better judge of where we might stop. But I put it kind of towards this wick in here. If we look at the 5,000 tick chart as well, that was kind of right in this range where we had some support here and here, as well as in here. So I was looking for that. We got that breakout. We got that trend change. I was looking for the pullback to enter long. Entered slightly early. My stop loss was down in here. I had about a 10-point stop or so. My take profit was the top of this swing high. So we did chop around for a few minutes in here. You can see, from when I got in about 8:28 to 8:34 or so, we kind of just chopped around for a solid 5-6 minutes. Then we got a real good push, and I hit profit right here, or I hit my profit target, I should say. So I didn't move my stop loss up when we were chopping around because it was so unpredictable. I just left my stop loss right where it was. I didn't want to de-risk and move it up when we had such kind of uncertain chop in here, at the risk of being stopped out before the move happens. I've done that before, and that's something that I'd like to avoid, is moving that stop too early and getting stopped out on a small pullback before the move happens. So I'm glad that I avoided that there. This was by far my best trade of the day, my only profitable trade of the day, and this is where I should have left it. We got this pullback, we got the move higher. I only had one contract. Obviously runners would have been nice. We pushed up like another 20 points almost from where I exited. But that was solid. That was about a 15-point win for, it was less than, I think it was like an 8-point stop, 15-point win. So about 2-1. I had like a 4 or 5-point loss earlier. So this was actually 3 times greater than my previous loss. So at this point I was up $20 on the day, and I logged off. I got off for the day. I should have listened. I should have remained there. But let's take a look at where we were on ES. So ES was a little bit different, right? ES was kind of chopping in this range. We can see that if I'll just draw a box. It should be very clear to see. But we were chopping in this range, right? We were making rejections off of pretty much yesterday's low of day, bouncing around this like 50.43 or so. We had obviously a little bit of a lower low, but we were within this range all morning, all afternoon. We had the Jerome Powell, we had the interest rate decision at 12 p.m. my time, so somewhere in here. They left interest rates unchanged, so we didn't really get much of a reaction, just a bunch of chop. Jerome Powell starts speaking at 12:30. You see we got this big rip to the upside. And one thing that I was watching, and I let it pass me by, and I want to show, is kind of the use of channels. So when we're in this range, it's really just a channel, right? You have a channel from here to here, and it's just bouncing back and forth in that channel. When we start to trend upwards or downwards, or whether we're in balance, just kind of ranging, they happen to do so within essentially a channel. You'll get false breakouts, etc., which are things that you'll have to watch. But this is one thing that I watched and I wish I took action on because I did not trade it at all. But let's take a look. So I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. And what I was doing was going off of these swing highs and this swing low here. So essentially that's the channel that I was watching. Now, there's a couple opportunities in here that were really nice. This was one that I was looking at buying. I had already drawn the channel. We came down, we tested, got a hammer candle, and a subsequent candle, got a retest, and then ripped right back up to the top of the channel. That is, we'll say 75-ish to 55. That's a 20-point swing. That's absolutely insane on ES. That's beautiful. It's textbook. That's exactly what I would want to see. I missed it. One thing that I was also watching is this reversal pattern that we have here, right? We come up, we form a top at the top of this channel. We come down, we try to form another high, but we fail to, slightly higher high. We break this low, so look at where we bounced. We have kind of like this V shape here with this hammer candle. We break that on volume, we break that on increasing volume, come up and retest that level pretty much to a T before coming back to the bottom of the channel again. So when we were in this channel, I didn't get in up here because I drew the channel after we had established this swing high. But this was a miss. I missed that. This reversal off the top of the channel back down, even if you caught just, from here, the retest 75 or 50, 70 to say down in here, like that's still a 10-point move. That's solid. The double bottom here, kind of that tweezer bottom here, back up towards the top of that range. A lot of opportunity for 10 to 20-point moves within this channel. Once that speech happened, I just sat on my hands and watched all of this, which is, if I was going to do so, I should have I should have done just that and kept my win. But seeing that this was playing out as it was, and I did not take any trades based on it, I just let it play out. From there, we started ripping, and as you see, it was pretty straight up. Not a whole lot of pullbacks. We did get this pullback. I didn't really like the feeling of it because we had I guess kind of the pattern that we had here, like the hanging man and then the bearish engulfing coming down into this area. I didn't see like a good hammer or anything, so I didn't enter here. But I was looking for a pullback. Ideally, I was looking for us to pull back somewhere into like 50.85 area. I would have liked to see that because, you know, we kind of just ripped through this zone without a retest. I suppose you could call this maybe a retest, but not necessarily. From there, just kind of kept grinding our way up. And so I was kind of looking for a pullback to enter long, but we kind of started getting a little choppier up in here. And this is where I took some stupid losses. I was essentially looking for us to make a low and then reverse and keep clearing and making higher highs, which we didn't do for the rest of the day. So I was, you know, looking at this momentum and I was looking for long positions, but the market had already rolled over. You see we come up and roll over, and I was taking long positions all the way down, just getting stopped out 3 times in a row, which caused me to have the losing day that I did. What is the first thing that I recognize about this looking back? Well, the market moves in cycles, right? You have periods of balance, you have periods of imbalance, and you can see it pretty much anywhere you look, right? You get, I mean, I'll start here. So this is, you know, the 22nd. You get a big move up, you get kind of sideways consolidation, move down, a little bit of sideways consolidation, move up, move down, move up, sideways consolidation, move down, sideways consolidation, move down, sideways consolidation, move up, a lot of sideways consolidation, move down. Essentially what I'm saying is see this move down, sideways consolidation, move up, sideways consolidation, move down, is that the move had run out of steam and I was still trying to cling to it. Seeing that we were failing to make higher highs, seeing that we were, let's see if I can do a better job kind of just failing to make higher highs, started moving sideways, making lower highs actually, and including some lower lows. That was pretty obvious that the trend had reversed, or was at least losing steam. So that's one thing that I notice now that I probably should have been a little bit more keen to as I was trading. Also, I don't trade the last 2 hours of the day. We do get big moves in power hour generally. I was expecting with the FOMC and interest rate decision, Jerome Powell speaking, that we might get some continuation of a big move in the last hour or so of the day. So that's what I was hoping on when I was taking these trades. Didn't work out. We got a big move, but it was in the opposite direction. Just erased that whole pump that we got. Let's take a look. And tell you the truth, I will not. I have a few trades that I know I took, but I took 3 trades, the last of which I'll go over because I clearly remember that one. The first 2 were kind of just nonsense bullshit. So where was I? I think I entered a trade in here when we had this previous high in here, you know, resistance turn support. If we look at that, we have resistance turn support. We broke down and then reclaimed it here. And I took a long position when we reclaimed it, when we broke back above and reclaimed it. I was targeting high a day. So I entered around, I think 115, targeting around 125, so a 10-point risk. I had a stop below this candle here, this swing here, so 510, so 5-point risk. It's a 10-point reward. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. But we just broke down and stopped me out right here. So when we came down and wicked right here, this wick right here below 510 got me out. We never saw that high a day, so nonetheless it wouldn't have hit my profit target. But that was my first trade. So I took it around 5:15 when we broke and retested that previous high a day, looking for continuation. We did not. This was too late, right? It would have been solid maybe in here when we got, this break and retest in here, and then continue for new highs. But nonetheless, I was late to the party and got stopped out on this little move down. Second trade was, where was my second trade? I think my second trade was in here. I think I entered when we got like this flag break, and then same thing, kind of targeting that high a day. We pushed down and stopped me out. So I entered somewhere in here around 113. Stop loss was below these wicks, so about like 4-point stop, and got stopped out on that move down. So those were my first two trades. I should have taken the hint, should have taken the sign that we were we had changed, right? Like I said, everything's just kind of moving in a channel. If we look, this is I'll be really sloppy, but we can try. We were kind of in this channel here, right? We broke down out of that, and what did we start? We started a new downtrending channel. So if I were to do that again, take a look, we can see that we start to form this channel, really, which is lower lows, lower highs, right? So we had that uptrend channel, we broke that, and we start downtrending. Actually, this break and retest of that would have been excellent to the downside, but I was still blinded and still wanted a move higher. I would actually appreciate if it didn't do that every time I clicked. It still does. That's hilarious. Alrighty. My third and final trade of the evening that was really the killer was right in here. So I was watching on this chart. We come down and hold this zone on a firm hammer candle. That's also where we saw some resistance back in yesterday evening, kind of close of yesterday's session. Kind of these swing highs in here when we started to have that spike in volatility before we got that breakout and that move upwards. And it was the bottom of this zone right around like 73, 72, 74, kind of the 2-point range within here that I was watching. As we came back down and we printed this hammer candle, I liked what I was seeing, and I entered a long position after we printed that hammer on the 5,000 tick chart. We also had that high volume. You see the volume corresponding is pretty high compared to what was coming before it. So I like that. I thought we might hold. I thought that we were a bit oversold and that we might get a reversal. I was targeting, I had 2 take profits in place. My first was this little swing right here. So 87, about 50, 87, 50, 88, we'll call it. And then my next was this swing high right here. So an area that we had found support a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, and then resistance here around 97. I entered somewhere around 72. So that move to 97 would have been it would have been over 20 points. Maybe a little bit overzealous for sure. We got our move all the way up to the top of this zone twice, and I did not take any profit at this point. That was, I think I entered around maybe like 75, 74. That's a solid 10-point move, and I was being greedy and did not take it. So I probably should have had a position to trim at this swing high, trim position, leave runner at stop loss, and then maybe target like this next swing up here. Wouldn't have been bad, because if we broke this swing high, this was the next target. Pretty clearly, that would be the next swing high to take out or to challenge. So I think the idea was there. The execution was poor. I didn't take profit here because I had taken 2 losing trades and I was looking to make it back. That's the classic revenge trading that you don't want to do, but I did it. My stop loss was below this swing low, so it was around like 67 or so, 50, 67. So a bigger loss I'd like to take. I took about like a 12-point loss or something on this, which is stupid. Obviously, I was shooting for, like a 20-22 ultimate target. So, risk to reward was still around 2-1, but just sloppy, really, really sloppy. A 10-point gain should have had, one, if not both contracts that I had taken off at that point. But I wanted to see this thing kind of reverse and continue that move that we got earlier in the morning, or not early in the morning, but earlier in the afternoon. So today wasn't the greatest for me. I feel like I'm seeing things decently. Today I traded pretty solid in the morning in terms of what I was recognizing, having tight stops, accurate risk to reward, taking profit when it hit my level, not sizing up, and just kind of paying attention to the overall trend. Like when NQ had that trend switch, we were in a downtrend, we broke out of that downtrend, we started forming higher highs, higher lows, taking that higher low entry, targeting the swing high exit. That's a nice trade. I'm happy with that trade that I took this morning that had me up on the day. So that's what I want to do. What I don't want to do is hesitate when I see things like this. Like I showed you, I had 2 potential trades that I really just sat on my hands and watched happen. This bounce at the bottom of that channel, this rejection and breakdown at the top of the channel. Either one of those was about a 20-point move. Insane. Would have loved to capture that, but that's just something that I have to get better at, is just trusting myself and taking those trades when I see them, which is odd because those are nice setups, and the setups I took later in the day were not nice. And I think it's just because I missed so much of this, right? There's so much potential that I was just on the sidelines watching. And then when things started to slow down, maybe I felt more comfortable because we were moving a little slower. Maybe this volatility was causing me to hesitate. I'm sure that plays a part in it. But nonetheless, I hesitate on nice entries earlier, wait too long until the move's already done, and then do stupid entries there. So, yeah, not a great day. Just didn't trade well. Didn't do what I should have, really. I was up on the day, like I said, trading with smaller size. I sized up in the afternoon when I came back. I should not do that when it's volatile as this. I should size down, not up. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's just like it's just emotional stuff. It's just discipline stuff. And how many times am I going to say that? It sucks. It's uncomfortable to make similar mistakes based off of just a lack of discipline or doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And that sucks. It really does. I don't enjoy it. I could just try to learn from it, take it in stride, which I'm doing. I'm not going to let this get me down or stop me. I was on a 4-day from last Friday. So like a 4-day green streak, including today, until I blew it up. So I know I can do it. And yeah, it's just a matter of me versus myself. And so we will be back tomorrow. We'll be looking to get back on the right foot, avoid some of these common pitfalls that I got into later in the day today, and just learn from it. I'll be continuing to trade on Trade-Evate and continuing to feel comfortable doing so, trading off the tick charts, trading directly off the brokerage. I am enjoying that. I enjoy placing and moving stops and targets and everything, just being able to do that directly on the chart. It's been good. So I'll be back tomorrow looking to right the ship. Not going to let this one get me down. It sucked. I sucked. But those days are going to happen. I just have to obviously limit it. So hopefully these days don't continue to happen. But losing days will happen. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. I do trade live Monday through Friday, so I'll be here the rest of this week and the continuing weeks. If you want to stop by and say what's up, please do. Always would love to have you. That's all I got. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out.